this old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Place the components one at a time onto the enchanting workbench. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Go ahead and try it on. You look amazing. Barely a hint of a Daedric connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Curate Gadain. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now. Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shelreni. Now that you mention it, yes. Gadain can get you on the access list, but you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine, Telvanni especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion. Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom Agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that? Once we get inside, we can meet up with Curate Gadain. What could Shelreni be thinking? She's obviously counting on the support of two Daedric princes. But does she really expect them to magically elevate her to the rank of Magister? Let's get to Tel Hulen in Old Isra and see if the cloak works. Tel Hulen, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry, and put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew? As Master Shelreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the Masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough.
You must warn the other Masters. I can no longer stand by and do nothing while Master Shelreni continues along this dark path. Her actions threaten the entire peninsula. You probably shouldn't, but that doesn't mean I'm lying. I admired Shelreni for her skill and power. Thought she would help me rise in the ranks. But her ambition and contempt for her fellow Telvanni will doom us all. Master Shelreni made a deal with not one, but two Daedric princes. She plans to use their help to eliminate all who oppose her so she can become Archmagister. I'm not sure. Master Shelreni stopped confiding in me. But I know how she thinks. She has no respect for the Masters or this Conclave. When they move to reprimand her, she's going to show them just how powerful she's become. It will be a bloodbath.
The Master's Conclave is in session. All other business is on hold. Come back later. Necrom, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Gadain's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the Assembly antechamber, as the attending Magister declared the Conclave for Masters only.
Gadain.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but...
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Gadain this instant.
The Curate and I are busy, Outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back later. How strange. As no one but Masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business. Well, obviously Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
Thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately.
Master Morena seemed exhausted. Is she well?
The healers recommended she stay in bed, but she insisted we attend the conclave. They call them so rarely, you know.
Understandable. As much as our masters despise public appearances, they hate the thought of others gathering without them more.
Too bad we're not allowed inside. I was hoping to see what punishment they devised for Master Shelreni.
We can speak freely here. You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Shelreni is here, and being held under guard until the conclave begins. And now we come to the problem. Magister Gothrin arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvanni Masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the assembly hall. Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a Magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please, share them. Otherwise, I fear the Masters are on their own in there.
A Magister? To counter Magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost sight to spot them. See them? One on either side of a door. I'll lend you my power to disable them. Magister Gothrin is good, but I'm better. Let's enter the assembly hall.
This is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gothrin, surely such restrictions don't apply to a Magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead Magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. You stand on shaky ground, Mouth for the Mouthless. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt this closed session of the Master's Conclave? And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly? So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment. Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not. Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Psst. Over here. I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelrenny didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you. Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelrenny reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated. Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelrenny. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead? Meln may have confused Magister Gothrin, but there's no provision for a dead Telvanni participating in a conclave. It's just not done. Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelrenny through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelrenny's gone, but what's that tipped over bottle over there? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the conclave. My ascension requires participants, willing or otherwise.
We must get to the conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Something's going on to the north. I think the conclave is starting.
Master Shelrenny, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvanni, murdering Meln the Mouthless, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvanni doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister!
Shelrenny, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there. Get up! I'm not ready to die a second time!
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelrenny killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Meln. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelrenny's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next. Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters. Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a Magister of the Telvanni Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then, I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her. Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvanni wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her. Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvanni won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going... In all honesty, no. In case you haven't noticed, we of House Telvanni are a superior lot. Sentiment and mercy rarely factor into our actions. Now, step lively. That portal will close as soon as my attention wavers. Ooh, and I feel a yawn coming on.
This ancient ruin. Those markings. This place is dedicated to Vermina.
I think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
Laramil's amulet can protect us both. Anything relevant in those papers? Was there anything in those papers about Master Shelreni or where we might find her? She writes about how Torvasad came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting. So they sent the malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here. And she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding a Vermina statue is the key to Torvasad's goal. This must be where that original memory took place. Where Vermina and Periite think Hermaeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Shelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin. Was there anything in those papers? This must... And Master Morena, we need to free her.
My black book! It looks like Shelreni got past my safeguards. Shelreni's using the restored statue as a focus for her right, an aspect of Vermina. That's not good.
Away, agents of fate! This vessel will help me restore what was taken from us all! No! Now, my disciple. Complete the sacrifice so I may inhabit the vessel.
I focused my ghost sight.
Now, friends, free Morena from the binding.
Man, what is going on, bro? I can't loot. I can't do the quest. Can't talk to her. Oh my god.
The magic is unstable. Save yourselves. No! Not when we're so close.
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
The Black Book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Shelreni. Prince Hermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vassal.
Damn.
The bloodshed, but soon Mora's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrypha and strike at Mora's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necrom Bindery and find Laramil.
Hold still, and
Not
I'll
now.
open a portal back to Necrom.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hermaeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good, you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows. Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Shelreni is dead, and Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave? So that was Shelreni's plan. Use whatever power the Princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that? And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse? What happened next, Proxy? They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasad and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvanni Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. Both Scroot and I felt the tides of fate churn and boil. Worse, neither of us has been able to commune with Hermaeus Mora since the Black Book's rite was completed at Vermina's shrine. And you say you saw Shelreni's body walk into Apocrypha. Giving Vermina access to Apocrypha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrypha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle. Blightcrown and Torvasad have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shelreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass? Fortunately, we have two conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvanni mage dies.
Lerino's idea is a good one. Master Shelreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her. No Telvanni master worth their... No Telvanni master worth their weight in Quama cattle would relinquish their hold on this plane without a fight. I have no doubt we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit. Whether we can get her to cooperate, well, that's an entirely different matter. As the curate can tell you, Necrom forbids summoning the dead. But there's no regulation against the dead choosing to speak to you. We don't have to summon Shelreni's spirit. We can go to her and simply request an audience. Same place you found me. In her tower, of course. We must go to Tel Barrow and search her sanctum. If her spirit lingers, she'll haunt there. Though, I'm better take Gadain with us. If she's become a vengeful spirit, his expertise might be required.
Meln, we can't just summon the dead whenever we please. It's forbidden.
Yes. Summoning is an affront to your order. But if the spirit is already there...
If I help you, I could jeopardize my standing.
We would not ask this of you if the situation was not dire.
Of course I'll help, Laramil.
I'll return to Apocrypha. See if I can find Vermina while you chase spirits. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Good luck at Tel Barrow, my friends. Return here with whatever you learn.
Dealing with displaced spirits is very much frowned upon by the Keepers of the Dead. I'll help, because the stakes are great, but it goes against every iota of my training. That's an aspect of our beliefs, but not the primary component. And it's different when you visit the catacombs and a spirit appears before you. I suppose if Shelreni decides to speak to us, that shouldn't violate the Codex too badly. Indeed. The recently departed are often confused, and that confusion can turn violent. I much prefer to deal with the spirits of our ancient ancestors. They may be cantankerous, but they've had enough time to reconcile to their undead existence.
Where's the Keeper? You should have been here by now.
The tower's locked tight. We need another way inside.
Telvanni towers always have more than a single ingress and egress. Look around. Over there. Just let me... There. Easy enough for a magister to remove a master's ward. Let's go inside. Shelreni's private study. Her presence is strong here. My ghost sight allows you to see it. Move closer, and I'll try to get her to manifest fully.
Careful, my friend.
Light crown!
suffering. Let me try to calm her.
Have you come to gloat? To see how far the mighty Shalreni has fallen? I would have led House Telvanni to new heights. Instead, I lost everything. All my work unfinished. My legacy in ruins. This is your fault, outsider. You and those duplicitous Daedric princes. Now, why in the name of my despicable ancestors would I even consider such a notion? You're my enemy. I'm content to sit back and watch as Vermina and Periac steal back whatever they think Hermaeus Mora took from them. You know nothing of the Telvanni, outsider, or of me. But I will admit that I hated when a greater power reneges on a mutually advantageous agreement. Frankly, my role in all this was more difficult than what I requested of the princes. I decrypted Meln's Black Book, perfected Blight-Crown's subterfuge concoction, and performed the rite that gave Vermina access to Apocrypha. And all for a simple favor. Eliminate my competition, and elevate me to the rank of Archmagister. I see what you did there. Clever. I suppose I've been taken off the board. A bit of revenge on my part is probably called for. The path to the memory Vermina seeks lies through the infinite panopticon. Torvasad will lead her there. It started with Torvasad and his dream of something lost long ago. He needed someone to acquire Meln's Black Book and perform the rite. In return, he would help me achieve my dream of becoming Archmagister, as long as I pledged myself to Vermina.
I can't absolve you of your transgression, Spirit, but I can grant you peace.
Eternal disappointment, more likely.
Let's return to Necrom and tell Laramil what we learned.
Calm yourself, Scroot. I am sure Apocrypha is not as bad as you say. Ah, Proxy. Tell me what happened at Tel Barrow. Scroot returned from Apocrypha with disheartening news, while my efforts at research have been marginally effective at best. Tell me you have something better to report, Proxy. The infinite panopticon. First they sought a memory to alter. Now they seek what? Another memory? And can they even find the entrance again? Well, we have a destination. Now all we need is a plan. What research I was able to accomplish tells me that Vermina will be a formidable opponent. But in order to enter Apocrypha without Mora's consent, she requires an anchor and a shield. In this case, Master Shalreni's body. That will be her undoing. Shalreni's body is mortal. If we destroy it, I do not believe that even Blight-Crown's concoction will hide Vermina from the one who knows. Of course, there is also the matter of Apocrypha gone amok. But one problem at a time, I think. Gadain, this will be dangerous. I would feel better if you remain here, out of harm's way.
I swore to retrieve the relic, and I can't stand the thought of you facing this danger without me. All of you, really.
Vomitus.
As I feared, the entrance to the Infinite Panopticon has moved.
As is its nature. Which means we have failed and reality is doomed.
I refuse this outcome. Fate, bend to my will.
Laramil, be careful.
There is no time. The Panopticon must exist. Here, I command it.
Laramil, you did it! The Panopticon is open!
Oh no. Hermina. Her presence.
This place feels ancient. Like no one's been here in an eternity.
The combination of rite and concoction worked splendidly. We are hidden, and Mora suffers. Tovasard, take the Dream Prince into the Eye of Mora, and find your memory. I have a final gift to deliver, to the very core of Apocrypha.
Blightcrown! Did he say something about an Eye of Mora?
Ignore Blightcrown. We need to reach Vermina and destroy Shelreni's body.
I see the Eye of Mora above us. That's where we need to go, mortal. Here, mortal. Let Apocrypha smite your foe. Vessel of the Great Eye. Call on me. Between Vermina's presence and the corruption, my fellow Daedra have turned violent. Well, more violent than usual. Through there, mortal. Hurry!